Org.
The station you hear everywhere.
Cougar Radio 92.7.
Good morning, beautiful people here in the city of Chattanooga. Y'all know what it is. Marie Mott with Marie Mott Show. I'm taking it from the street to the city hall to the mayor's office. Can't leave out the police department. From the valley low to the mountainside, giving you guys a bird's eye view to what's going on here in the city of Chattanooga. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, snap. I'm a little exhausted. Didn't really sleep last night. And last night was pretty crazy at city council. And look, my phone has been bunking like all night and all morning. Man, this has been going ham. I just want to say thank you to all of the community members who came out last night. It wasn't about supporting me. And for tax, interstate tax, he says it wasn't even about supporting him. What it was is ensuring that we stand up for justice and righteousness and that we really look out for the next generation. Because if these things happen to us and we don't step up as community members and get involved, then we have a situation where we give people the impression that it's okay for them to treat human beings. It's not just about Black people, because we're not the only ones who suffer from police violence or brutality. It could be any and every one of you who is listening to me right now. And so if I don't take the time to stand up for the community, if other people don't take the time to stand up for the community, then the situation we have is we give people the impression that it's okay for them to treat human beings any kind of way. And it's not. Any person out here should treat the next human being with love, decency, and respect. And the moment you can't do that, you know what you do? You walk away. But treat people with love, decency, and respect, and watch that come right back to you. And that's how we start cleaning up the world, is we start approaching each other with love, decency, and respect. But I'm always so super excited when I don't get to be here on the show. And I've been trying to get C. Grammy here for a little minute. But he's such a busy man. And that's a good thing when you're an artist and you're busy. You're an artist and you have things to do. It's nothing worse than being an artist and nothing is popping for you. But
yeah, that hurts.
it hurts your feelings and your pockets.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm so glad I have Cameron Williams, but he's known to us as some of us Professor Grammy, to others as C. Grammy. And
what up, everyone?
He talks about hip hop. He is an artist. He works with children. He hangs out and feeds the community with me and Concerned Citizens for Justice when he has time. He is everywhere all the time, just lifting up community, lifting up people. And that's one of the reasons why I love him so much, is because he's just a good man. So without further ado, as always, 800-8949 if you want to call in and talk to us. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share. Show C. Grammy some love. Make sure you show him some love. But 800-8949 if you want to call and talk to us. But C. Grammy, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
What up? I'm C. Grammy. I'm from around the corner. I'm from Chattanooga. Artist, educator, activist. I just try to stay busy and make beautiful art for the culture and help out the community where I can,
Absolutely. So you've got your hands involved in several things when it comes to art. Before we get into some of the things that you're doing right now, how did you get into, number one, just being a recording artist, but number two, even being interested in other forms of art like painting and creativity, like you're doing 3D printing and screen printing, T-shirts. And how did you get interested in different things like that?
Man, just becoming a recording artist, becoming a rapper and a performer. I used to make up little poems, little rhymes, and Mom Deuce would just be like, hey, write it, keep it and write it and practice it. Encouraged me all through school. And then, my idols, Master P, Jay-Z, different people like that, looking like us, starting from the bottom and doing their thing. I was like, hey, we could do that, and just from it being a form of expression, of taking it to a business. And then, with hip hop, historically, hip hop is nothing without the art. The dance, the art of dance and movement, performance, the art of emceeing and rocking the crowd, the art of graffiti. And then you got the modern hip hop art, the album cover, the mixtape cover, the music video, the fashion, the swag, so without art, there is no hip hop. Without hip hop, you can't complete it without the arts. And so getting into that and, appreciating that made me appreciate other facets of art, performance art, visual art, paintings, sculptures, and just looking at the beauty and, looking at how our people have created some of the biggest and brightest and best masterpieces and appreciating that. And then just having appreciation of the expression of art outside of, just what I knew in general from my culture, being a hip hop baby, expanding that appreciation of art.
Absolutely. And that's super cool. Number one, the fact that you stated that you had family support, and that's crucial because I had, T. Westfield on the show last week. And that's one of the things that he talked about is that he has supportive parents. And so it's imperative to anyone who's raising a child. If you have a child that has creative or artistic dreams, sometimes people look at that and say, oh, you can't be an artist. People are starving artists. We have to change the perception because I've had people say that to artists. Artists are starving artists. No, not really. They're not. It takes work when you want to take your art, as you said, into business. That's a different form, right? There are people who do things strictly for the enjoyment. And then there are people who take it to the next level and say, hey, I can feed my family doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I can take this and make a movement to where I can start off as an individual and then bring other people in. And then we have a citywide movement, which is something that I've really seen bubbling the last couple of years is now that so many different artists like you have done it. Big Guru has done it. It's so many people who have taken their craft and their platform. J Flow has done it. I've seen just people just bring so many people on stage. And I love that our generation is really breaking stereotypes about the Chattanooga curse. Nobody supports one another here.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man, is get out there and support local artists, local art in general. Get outside your wheelhouse, get outside your bubble and do something different that you might not, do on the regular. Go cross support. If you always support this one group, we'll take that group to another event and support that. So yeah, shout out all the people doing it, man. Shout out all the venues supporting local art.
Yes. And that is I'm glad that I'm seeing this artistic shift in the city. Because I feel even though we have a lot of buildings and development, if there is no art splash that is happening with that, there is no story being told with the change that is happening. And one of the things that I think when we talk about gentrification is that even if unfortunately in some areas that has changed, we can still tell our story about those places and help people to remember where those areas were. Even if we have lost some areas, art gives you the way to tell a story, even if maybe that certain chapter has come to a close, to where we never forget where we've come from.
Oh yeah, and that's why you got to be true with the art and don't water it down. Make it true to the times. Make it true to yourself. Always pour truth into the art.
Man, I'm so glad that you are here.
I'm so glad to be here. For real, man. We appreciate what you're doing for the city and all the truth you're spreading. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, these millennials and what's the generation after us?
Generation X, Z.
Yeah, the 2000 babies.
Out, Lord have mercy.
The late 90s babies and the 2000s babies. We're gonna make a change and we're gonna pick up where, our ancestors during the civil rights era left off. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just one of the things that fascinates me about the Black Panther Party is when I look at their paper and I look at their artwork of how they convey how they're feeling about the times.
Oh yeah.
That to me, that's almost, dare I say, sometimes more important than some of the things that I've heard is that artistic expression in a visual way of how Black people were feeling at the time.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have your organizers and your people in the movement that are doing the footwork, you know, doing the nitty gritty. But if you look back at like movements like the Black Panther Party, and those movements, you had people like Muhammad Ali and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Nia Simone, you know, the biggest artists of the time, not just saying I'm an artist, but taking a stand for what was right for their people, you know what I'm saying? And you know, nowadays people be like, you know, I'm just an artist. I'm not a role model. I'm just here to create. I mean, sometimes you got to draw a line in the sand, and I think the best artists have found a way to do that and not compromise their art.
Absolutely. And because the thing that I would encourage any artist is you don't have to be the person out front, but some of the people in art, they may not have been outwardly spoken as far as what they felt about the times, but what they did do is support people from behind the scenes.
Most definitely.
Support people from behind the scenes. Like most people would not know that Mahalia Jackson was literally sending Martin Luther King checks.
Oh yeah,
sending him money, keeping him.
And that's cool. Cut a check, do a benefit show. You don't got to be out in front. You don't even got to say a word. Just do your part whenever you can. You know what I'm saying? And if your part is, you know, doing some in-kind service, getting out there in the trenches, do that. You know what I'm saying? But just do something.
Exactly. Just something. Contribute just a little something.
So we asking.
So what are the things that you have? What are some of the things that you have coming down the pipeline or that you're involved in at this last end of the year and then coming into the beginning of next year?
Oh, yeah. So, hold on. Cloud Trap this Friday. Networking open mic event, the biggest in the city.
Hey,
yeah, Cloud Trap this Friday. We do a monthly installment at Ziggy's Music Box, networking and open mic event for artists of all kinds. And then some of the best and brightest up and coming musicians hit the stage. Some of the more established artists in the city come and premiere their singles, what they working on their new projects. Your guest Monday, J Hood.
Woo.
Yeah, he came through last month and dropped his single Energy. What up, Hood? What up? And so it's dope. It's a real good networking event. It's an open mic available for anybody. We try to cap it at 12 performances, so I got about 6 on the list. So hit me up if you want to get on the performance list and get a guaranteed spot. And then as far as the music, I will be dropping first quarter. I'll be dropping an EP, No Carpets. Look out for it this January for sure. I keep pushing it back because I keep adding songs to it. But for real, January is coming, and I'm real proud of this. No Carpets, only Fancy Roads.
All right. And I've been seeing clips of you recording that downtown at the library, correct?
Yes. Shout out my friends at the library. Shout out Dynamo Studios, who built a amazing studio, a free resource for the people. I encourage all my people get it, especially if you live in the inner city. Get your library card and go use all those resources down at the public library.
What are so let's educate the people. What are some of the resources? So there is a recording studio that they can use, and that's free?
That's free. If you have a library card, you can book 2 sessions a month. You can book 2 3-hour sessions a month, and it'll teach you how to be your own engineer, your own producer, you know, your own recording artist, man. We got some dope staff that'll help you do that down there. The library's got like 200,000 things you can check out, not just books, but DVDs, audio books. They got 3 apps on the intranet on the World Wide Web. They got 3 apps with the streaming music, movies, videos, all type of stuff, ebooks, and as well as the history section, local history, all type of documents. They have a free judicial index that you can use. Yes. And on the 4th floor is a huge maker space with a vinyl plotter, virtual reality center, all type of dope stuff, man. Come holler at the downtown library.
So if you have not gotten a library card, like how long has it been since people have heard that?
I know, it's crazy.
Come get a library card. Number one, y'all know what I encourage people to do. You got to read. I know it's killing some of y'all every time I say that, but you got to read.
Well, it Ain't no excuse now when they put the books on your phone.
Exactly. Even if you don't want to read, you can listen. There's no excuse.
You can listen and follow along.
You can listen and follow along, right? But also because there has been a tremendous amount of money that has been invested in our library to be able to offer these things to the inner city. And one of the things that we have to understand is that people are not inclined to continue to invest in these things if they're not being utilized. You understand what I'm saying? So people can say, well, whatever they want. Well, you can make excuses and look, find a way. 6 hours. If you're an artist, it's no reason why you shouldn't have a library card. If you're an artist, 6 hours, that's money you keep in your pocket. You learn how to do this on your own. So let's say you want to record something, but you don't want to wait on anybody. If you've learned how to do this thing on your own, you're your own person, you can go in there and do your work.
And once you learn how to do it, you know what I'm saying? It's, man, when you're living in the future, you can invest a little money in yourself and you can have your own little mini recording studio. You know, your laptop, your mic, your little interface, you ready to go. So you can cut out the middleman once you learn how to do it for free. I mean, people pay big money for this education to learn
thousands and thousands of dollars.
I suggest you jump on it, man, like your boy has. You know what I'm saying? Ooh.
So if you're just now tuning in, please get you a library card. You can actually sign up for that online. You don't even have to go down there. So go to the website.
CHATT library.org
and sign up for a library card and then start utilizing this stuff, because I don't want it to be a situation where they say, well, all this stuff is collecting dust, nobody's using it. In particular, I want our young people to come in and come outside, because there are a lot of impoverished neighborhoods that are around the downtown area. And so if you have a vehicle, talk to these young people and get an evening when you pick them up from school. You make sure their homework is done, but take them and get them library cards and then show them the books. And I'm sure their mind is going to be blown, because where can they go in school and see a 3D printer? I mean, like, I walked by a building downtown for an appointment maybe like a month ago, and I actually saw a business that had these huge 3D printers. Mm-hmm. And I felt like a kid. Like, I was like, oh my God, they have this here in my city. You know what I mean? So these are resources that have been put there. So if we say that we're going to make this a city of creators, then we have to utilize those things that can spark our creativity. And one of the things I really would love to see is a wave of creativity that's being sparked among our youth. It keeps them out of trouble. Come on now. It keeps them busy. It stimulates their mind. It motivates them. Like, oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited. That is so dope. So
friends of the library be happy to hear that.
Oh, shout out to the Chattanooga Library. I know they've been down there so long, and I spent lots of time with my mom. She made sure as a kid I had a library card, that I knew how to check out a book. It's back when we had the Dewey Decimal System. Ugh, these kids don't understand.
Oh, whoa.
They don't understand.
It's all online now. Good. Just type it in.
They don't understand. It used to be work finding a book, folks. Like, it's so easy for you to just get involved in educating yourself. And one thing I would encourage is, besides just the arts, go down there and check out Chattanooga history. There's so much rich history of our city. Like, we don't understand. We are walking streets which legends, musical legends.
Oh yeah,
have walked these downtown streets. What's going on, Rain? Well, I see you. Monty Suttles, I see you guys. Ayana, I see y'all. Like, so besides recording, what are some of the other things that you like doing at the Chattanooga Library?
I mean, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything. You know, I read a lot. They got the maker space on the 4th floor. So, I make T-shirts, stickers.
Screen printing.
Vinyl
stickers?
Yeah. Vinyl stickers, all that.
Look, it's we're getting ready to go through winter. Get your children involved now, so when the summertime comes, they already know how to make T-shirts. And if they want to sell T-shirts, they got a business for the summertime.
Boom.
Think about it. Come on now. Hey, look, I love hustle. I'm a hustler. If they can make vinyl stickers, promoting their business. There you go. Now they got, okay, mama can put it on the side of her car, put it on her laptop, and people are asking, like, what is this? Come on. Let's start this wave of innovation in our city. I'm so glad that I have C. Grammy here talking to us about what's going on in the city of Chattanooga, from hip hop to arts to the library. Like, everybody, like, get involved and get your hands involved in some good. I know sometimes I talk about hard things on the show, and it comes with the territory, but I love talking about good things that we can do in this city that we have and taking advantage of resources. Utilize those resources. Stay tuned for the second half of the segment. I love you guys.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Chaos at the city council meeting as protesters demanded community oversight of local law enforcement at Tuesday's council meeting. Councilman Erskine Oglesby spoke before the crowd, saying that he was appalled by the video showing the arrest and beating of local rapper Interstate Tax. But before he could finish, the crowd began to chant, "No justice, no peace." Nooga Radio's David Toulis was there.
There are around me maybe 50 or 60 residents of Chattanooga and others who are angry and frustrated.
They're calling it a cover-up. Hamilton County reported a bus broke down on the side of Signal Mountain yesterday, but disgruntled parents say it actually got stuck in the ice and they had to go out and get their kids off the slick roadway. A Chattanooga police officer is the subject of several rape investigations, some of them under investigation by the FBI. Officer Desmond Logan is on paid leave. Officer Logan has as many as 4 accusers. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Hey folks, Jeff Stiles here. So proud that you're listening to the flame-throwing, butt-kicking, mini-bite-chain-eating talk radio whoop-ass. Ever wondered about that name? Fred, the show. Nobody here named Fred, just the name of the show. Free radio every day. Freedom of thought, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Costs you nothing to listen, costs you nothing to call. 800-8949. That's 800-8949. Entertaining information, informative entertainment. Found right here on Nooga Radio.
92.7. You want more business. You want to increase your bottom line. You want to spend less on advertising, imaging your business, and general expenses. You need Trade Bank. When you join Trade Bank, you'll get the benefit of free advertising in our monthly magazine, tradebank.com, emails, and mailouts. Join Trade Bank now and receive your Trade Bank debit card with trade credits to spend any way you want. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call now for a free consultation. 877-2202. That's 877-2202. Trade Bank of Chattanooga.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is your sandwich speaking. Yeah, your sandwich. And you know, you can't find me any place but the Mad Philly Sandwich Shop. Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, just off 153 on Shaliford Road. It's in the little plaza. Hey, check out these buns. Yeah, they're Amorosa. All the way from Philly. So bite me. You want a real Philly cheesesteak? Check out my meat. Throw some cheese on it and grilled onions. Oh, yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about. Only at the Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, where you'll always get the real taste of a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Plus hoagies, burgers, sandwiches, salads, fresh cut fries, tater tots, and other stuff. Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, just off 153 on Shaliford Road, right across from Mountain View Service Center. It's in the little plaza. Hey, come on, we're waiting for you here. So just shut up and eat it.
Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more
bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need Amco Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Pet way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Looking much better out there for your afternoon. Lots of sunshine, highs settling into the upper 40s tonight. Skies remaining fair, lows upper 20s to near 30. Partly cloudy Wednesday, still looking dry for a while. Highs 50 to 53. Continue dry with some more clouds Thursday. Experience the wonder of Ruby Falls Christmas Underground on a magical interactive journey to visit Santa at the North Pole. For tickets and more details, go to rubyfalls.com. And I'm Sworn Gene 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick 4.
The radio 92.7.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people here in the city of Chattanooga? It's that familiar voice, Marie Mott with Marie Mott Show. I'm here with C. Grimy, Professor Grimy, or by his legal name, Cameron Williams. Cameron Williams. The arts god. That's what I consider him. I'm so grateful that he took time out of his very busy schedule to come and actually talk to the people.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Man. And before I forget, because I got to do this while I'm live on air, just in case anybody thought or was confused about what last night was about, it was about tax, but it was also about us. It was about us as a community. It was about us. Justice for interstate tax. No sleeping on that. Let them know what's going on in the east side and the west side.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to all my sponsors and supporters that helped me make this happen. West side at the center. The West Side Center, what's that? 1201 Poplar Street. Free art classes, children, 8 and up. We do cool, real cool art collaborations and creations, and give them a free meal at the end of the day. That's 6 p.m. to 7:30-ish. And then Thursdays at the East Chattanooga Center, 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. And same format, art class, creation. We talk about Black history, Black trivia. We're just togetherness, unity. We do some really cool creations and we feed them, and then we break out. Yeah.
So shout out West Side and East Chat, where I'm from. Yes. I am so glad that there is an opportunity for you to be able, and that you got sponsors to help you with that.
Shout out the directors first and foremost. Shout out the directors at those centers. Shout out Corey and Media at the West Side, and shout out Drake and Monica at the East Side.
Our community. I love our community. And I would be remiss if I didn't speak on yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday.
Gotta speak on it.
I gotta talk about it. And I'm appreciative that you're okay.
Oh, most definitely.
Talking about it with me. That I don't have to talk about it by myself.
Most definitely.
So last week, the story of Charles Tony, better known as Interstate Tax. He was supposed to be on his way to my show last Monday, and he was instead arrested. And understand, when we talk about arrest, what is supposed to happen. You're supposed to be put in handcuffs and taken to whatever station they're going to take you to. What's never supposed to happen to you while you're in handcuffs is for you to be brutally beaten. And anybody who makes excuse for that, you're a chump. I don't know what else to call you. You're a punk. Because I don't care what color you are.
Alicia.
Exactly. Hell no. Like, I don't care who you are. It's not right for any person to beat on another human being, right? And then they're defenseless, helpless. You know, people fail to understand, not only because this story has blown up, his face is everywhere, which tarnishes his business relationships because he's a businessman. Makes it difficult. He talked about this with me yesterday. It's hard for him to just even go to the bank. and do formal business without people. He's got to duck his head every time he goes out in public. You don't understand what that feels like. Besides the fact that you lived this one instance that will forever change your life. How many people out there knew that his father 9 years ago, around the same time, was brutally beaten? They pistol whipped the police department. The officers pistol whipped his father, broke some of his teeth. Come on, caused him neurological damage. And to imagine that this will happen to your son. So not only has this happened to father, this happened to son, and now he has to worry, will this happen to my son? Will this happen to will this be a story, a generational story for the men of my family? How many people understand what it's like to have your dignity and pride as a man stripped of you in the public eye? And now people look at him funny when he goes to pick up his children from school. See, you just don't understand, and a lot of people wouldn't understand, or sometimes it wouldn't even believe unless it happens to you. And why do I stand up so it won't have to be if it happens to you? Do you get what I'm saying? That's why people fight this, because we don't want this to happen to you or your daughter. I don't want your daughter to be pulled over by an officer and have him rape her. I don't want an officer to crash into you because he's drinking under the influence while on the job. I don't want an officer to kidnap you. I don't want an officer to shoot you. I want an officer, even if they got to arrest you. You know what? I feel like you can arrest people with respect. I say, Mr. Tony, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to place you up under arrest. But I'm going to pat you down, make sure you don't have any weapons. I don't want you to be injured, and I don't want to be injured. And I'm going to put you in the car, and I'm going to take you down, and I'm going to process you, but I'm going to make sure we treat you with respect. You telling me that a simple situation like that cannot transpire? So, of course, there was outrage. There was outrage because not only because this has happened to him, but because this has happened to so many other people, and that we have been faced with the realization that there is a cultural problem within law enforcement here in the city, and that we cannot afford to lie to ourselves about what we see. I mean, imagine how it feels to sit at a city council meeting with the same people who came and asked you for your votes 2 years ago. And now they're sitting there with righteous indignation, basically telling you that they don't have time to listen to you. And they can't take the heat of what you got to say because they don't understand what it's like to be frustrated. And for those who understand what it's like to be Black and be frustrated, or be marginalized and be frustrated, won't even tell the truth about how it feels. How dare any council person act like they're above the people when the power belongs to the people? If the power belongs to the people, then you got to listen to the people. But maybe we have fallen into a trap here in the city of Chattanooga where so many people in power feel like they can do what they want without asking and talking to the people. And then sit there with a righteous indignation and attitude like it's okay. It's not okay. Don't tell me you're upset when Avery Gray came earlier this year after her daughter, a 14-year-old, a child. That's what started this whole fiasco this year. A 14-year-old, we watched 5 million views. She got dragged out of her mother's car by her wrist by an officer who should have been minding his own business. All the charges were dropped, but did that young girl get to play basketball this year? No, she didn't. She couldn't even write her own homework. So when people tell me I shouldn't be upset, or when people say that we wasted our time, no, baby, you ain't even putting in no time. When's the last time you showed up to a city council meeting? When's the last time you called your representatives and talked to them directly, or saw them out in person and pulled them to the side and say, I don't like what's going on in my neighborhood, and what are you going to do about it? You'd rather question the people than question the folks who are basically making decisions about our very lives and the future of our city. And while I'm so glad that there are good resources out there, there's still not enough resources in this city. I'm fighting for resources to be distributed evenly through this city. It should never have to be a situation where all of the resources are locked up downtown. And I'm glad that they're there, but it's still not fair. Can y'all allow me to be real? I hope that's okay.
Be real with them. You gotta keep it real.
I mean, you yourself, you saw, Cameron, you saw some young brothers being harassed by the police. So what happened to you?
I was jailed for speaking up for young brothers. It was May of 2017. We were outside of a nightclub. They were harassing some young brothers for no reason. Pulled them over for false charges. Demanded everybody's identification. I was like, that's not proper procedure. They didn't do anything wrong. Within 60 seconds, I was in handcuffs. 42 seconds handcuffed.
In charge
with disorderly conduct because I was speaking up for other people's rights, or for our civil rights. My friend was maced in the face for speaking up for my rights. You know, so, I mean, and it goes, you said it started with what happened this year. It goes back 112 years. Ed Johnson, you know. So,
Andy Blount.
You know.
We've had human beings hung from the Walnut Street Bridge. Do we understand? We drive over a bridge where people have been hung from in the city. And we are just now recently, like 2015, 16-ish, where they kind of started the Ed Johnson Project. We're just now 100 and some odd years later, even starting to talk about this, actually speaking it out loud. Let's talk about Wadey Suttles. Come on, died in police custody, 1983, December the 6th, 1983. His daughters died with no answers as to what happened to him. No accountability. This has been going on so long. And unless you're from these neighborhoods, unless you've been in this black flesh, unless you've been in a marginalized group, unless you've been marginalized, maybe you just don't understand. But even if you don't understand, you know what you can do? Get outside of your bubble, your element, and talk to some people that you've never known. Come hand out food on the West Side and see how people are living. And see for yourself the poverty. See for yourself kids running around with no coats. We've had to have 2 or 3 coat drives just to make sure our babies out here have jackets to stay warm in the freezing southern coldness. Talk about poverty. Some of us, we're so blessed, but our blessings blind us. Our blessings legitimately keep us blind because we think everybody has had this fair shake in life, and it's just not the truth. There are people who have literally clawed from poverty-stricken areas and situations to just be able to do better in life. And so last night, I don't know if it was perfect. There is no perfect thing in life. I didn't know what to do. There's no playbook to activism, trying to figure out police brutality, what to do. So I just called people to come together. That's the only thing I know. I come in church. I come from church. So, you know, all we know how to do is gather. I'm just saying, I come from the church world. So when we have problems, we come together and we pray. When we have problems, we come. Oh my goodness. I'm trying not to cry because my grandmother would bring people together, like go into church and pray and walk and sometimes family members would walk down the street and just pray over our streets, talk to the people. We come together. And that's all I tried to do. That's all I wanted to do was for people to come together. And the fact that not only was it filibustered last night, just a bunch of nothingness, they intentionally dragged the meeting on last night, forever and a day, intentionally, to have Erskine Oglesby, who's Erskine Oglesby, to give us this statement that they're appalled. You know what you show by being appalled? Legislative action and measure. And if you're not going to do it, pressure the mayor to do it. Because it's fine to say that we're upset too, but the question is, as a council body, it only takes 5 of them to get anything accomplished. You're telling me there's not 5 grown human beings up there that acknowledge that there's a problem here and that they're not willing to sit down and figure out what they're going to do about it, and that they have a right to get up and walk out on people And that's okay. They've done it when it's been no cameras. That's what maybe people just don't understand. They've done it when it's been no cameras. Nobody there to document it. Nobody there to stand with the handful of people. I want people to get involved, not because this has happened. Man, this is the day that Javario Eagle called the police and he got shot. They killed that man in front of his child. Like, we don't understand. You could talk all day long on Instagram and on the book, and you could say that you love people, and then for the people who want to talk smack, you could talk smack too. But at the end of the day, once they've come for us, who's left? Who's gonna feed the beast? This is a business. Locking people up is a business. It's
big business.
It's big business. Our sheriff has a contract with CCA Silverdale. So why would he not be interested in locking people up? I'm just being super real about it. And seeing the complicitness between our Chattanooga Police Department and our sheriff. Our sheriff had the ability to fire this man on the spot. He didn't do it. He could look in his personnel file and see that he's been implicated in 2 other killings of civilians and could have fired this man on the spot. Didn't do it. What is he doing? Desk duty. Still collecting the check. So it's okay for you to beat a person, break. So let me recount it. Collapsed lungs, 2 broken ribs, fractured nose, broken finger, bruises and lacerations all over his body. I'm talking about black and blue bruises, whole shoulder, just black and blue. And he's got children. 4 kids. And to see a grown man, a man who's fed other people's children, a man who's giving back to the city, who rented out an ice cream truck to give ice cream out to kids, handed out shirts, I Trap shirts with Steve Bedford, partnered up just earlier this year. He's on a video with Brandon Woodruff and Steve Bedford at News Channel 12 having a kickball tournament. And he did that with the kids. He's not perfect, but man, what about... He's a gentle giant. And if you approach him with respect, he is such a respectful man. Such a respectful man. Come together like never before in this city, folks. I'm sorry that people, unfortunately, got a dose of what I've been experiencing for a long time and what other people have experienced longer than I have. And that is, we approach people who we are supposed to be able to trust to step up and do what is right for us, and they turn their backs on us. But we are not without hope. We're not without hope. There's still the artists. There's still the activists. And obviously we're together.
Hey.
So what does that mean? They can't stop what God has given us. They can't stop what's about to really happen. It's about to be pressure. And I can't go into details, and I won't, because the left hand can't know what the right hand is doing. But if they think it's over, so I'm sure the sheriff is probably tuning in. You know, they watching.
You know the ops is tuning in.
I know the ops is tuning in, because I know the mayor's office and all of them, they all tuned in. They always tune in because they got to see what I'm talking about. Pressure is on the way. And what you try to use for our downfall is going to be your downfall. Y'all just wait. That's all I'm gonna say. Just wait, because it's not over. It's not over. We're not going away until the war is won. We're gonna fight. Period. And we're gonna keep working together in the city. We're gonna break this Chattanooga stigma that we don't support one another, that there's no love here, that there's no opportunity. If there's no opportunity, we're gonna create opportunity.
Exactly.
How do you feel about it?
Support black business, support minority business, support your own, support local art. Justice for Tax, man. That's my guy. That's nephew. Been knowing Tax his uncle and his pops are my big homies. So, that's family. Get well soon. And don't wait till something like this happens to be outraged. Be outraged every day at the way they're treating us, with systematic oppression. So do something. My thing is, I make art. I talk about truth. I educate youth, and I help our brothers and sisters who want me to help in any kind of way. What you do may be different, but do something.
Something.
We ain't asking much. We just ask you to do something. So, and support could be that something.
Absolutely. If everybody gets their hands in this, it doesn't have to be a few people carrying this load. This is a heavy load for one or a handful of people to carry. This is a burden and a struggle that we all got to get involved in, because it's not just about us. It's about our future. And who's the future? Our children. They got to be able to, we got to leave this city better than how we found it. We do. We should leave this city with more opportunity, more space for growth, more innovation. Come on. More better ways of living than how we came into this world. And I hope that for every person, whether you're an activist or you're just a common man or woman, that you just want to get your hands and do something to make it better. If it's nothing more than just picking up trash off your street, that's something.
That's something.
That's something. Mm-hmm. Y'all know what it is. Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show.
C. Grimy.
C. Grimy. Professor Grimy. Cameron Williams.
Hey.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on the show.
Thank you.
Y'all know what the end of it always is. If no one has taken the time today to tell you that they love you, I love you. You know what it is? And guess what? It ain't nothing you can do about it. I'll see you guys back tomorrow on the Marie Mott Show.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Chaos at the city council meeting as protesters demanded community oversight of local law enforcement at Tuesday's council meeting. Councilman Erskine Oglesby spoke before the crowd, saying that he was appalled by the video showing the arrest and beating of local rapper Interstate Tax. But before he could finish, the crowd began to chant, "No justice, no peace." Nooga Radio's David Toulis was there.
There are around me maybe 50 or 60 residents of Chattanooga and others who are angry and frustrated.
They're calling it a cover-up. Hamilton County reported a bus broke down on the side of Signal Mountain yesterday, but disgruntled parents say it actually got stuck in the ice and they had to go out and get their kids off the slick roadway. A Chattanooga police officer is the subject of several rape investigations, some of them under investigation by the FBI. Officer Desmond Logan is on